Hi, Optwell 50 plus followers, fans, and friends. Hopefully you fall into one of those categories at least. I wanted to start a video series in my continuing quest to provide as much useful information as I can for you that highlights what we in the 50 plus range often, my observation is we often stumble over, we tend to get in our own ways in a broader category that I would define as biases and blind spots. Basically, we tend to gravitate towards things that we're familiar with or that we already believe in that may not have underpinnings that justify that level of confidence, or we just don't have objectivity about where we could be doing better, or whether it's more or less, or just kind of redirecting our focus to something, a different strategic sort of approach. So this series, Biases and Blind Spots, will, my effort is to try to highlight some of the most common ones that I see and the ones that tend to be the most influential in creating plateaus for progress, both for training and for healthy eating, which may be performance-based or body composition related, or both. More likely it's going to affect both. Okay, so the first one I want to cover, and I generally have to choose, if I have to choose a topic between fitness and nutrition, I'll start with nutrition because nutrition is literally foundational to movement and health and function. So we'll start there. So this is one that tends to affect limits on progress towards lower body composition, but also can affect detrimentally athletic performance depending on the timing. So, and that's our tendency in this age group to backload calories instead of front load calories. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I want to keep each of these videos to just a few minutes. So what I will say is, even if your composition is on point, and I'll do other videos that talk about the areas, the most high impact areas, opportunities for improvement in composition in another video. Let's just say your composition is completely on point, and it's the flow of calories that's kind of keeping you from breaking through body composition goal plateaus, or just isn't providing you with the right amount of energy, the right type of energy, the right amount of energy at the right time for athletic performance. Okay, so what I tend to see is people under-consuming in the first third of the day, and maybe they're having coffee, they're in a hurry, they're not having a good balance between protein and produce, vitamins and minerals that are peculiar to vegetables and fruit. The first third of the day, and the problem with that is if you're not supplying adequately, it will affect detrimentally your athletic performance later in the day if you're going to work out or do a sport later in the day. It also probably contributes to under-consuming protein, so protein's not on board. So if you're still in your 24, 48-hour recovery cycle from your strength training workout, it will potentially diminish the muscle protein synthesis, so the gains, the strength gains and the size gains, or even just maintaining. Which really most of us in this age range are trying to do more than build. But specifically for body composition, it tends to be pretty influential factor in people not being able to get down to the level of leanness that they'd like to and think that they should be able to maintain. And we can talk about what that is in another video. because specifically they're eating most of their calories in the last third of the day, when they're much less likely to burn those calories in the remaining hours of that day. So why that happens, I think it has to do with family rhythms, and sometimes that's the sort of the feast is the reward at the end of the day. But take a look at your waking day in thirds. Okay, so for me it would be like 6 to 11, 11 to 5, 6 to 11, that's 5, right? So 11 to, I guess 11 to 4, and then 4 to 9. I usually go to bed before 10. So let's make that the block. I shoot for 50% of my intake in that first third of the waking day. About 30%, I'm not meticulous, but they're just broad goals. About 30% in the middle third. And then about 20% in the last third, but critical to being successful with that is making sure you hit that bigger volume in the first third of the day. That makes the tapering more manageable and makes it less likely that you'll underconsume for the day. I'm a little hungry when I wake up in the morning within half an hour or so that's also a good sort of sensory metric. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and I'll try to make the next ones shorter. Have a great week.